England field an unchanged side, which will read Gooch and Robinson opening, Athy, Gatting, Lamb, Embry, De Freitas, Downton, Foster, Small and Hemmings. The news there is that Neil Foster has come through a stern fitness test about his injured knee. And as for India, they too wanted an unchanged side, but unfortunately Vengsarkar was ill and had to withdraw. So they'll read Shrikant Gavaskar, Sidhu Azharuddin, Kapil Dev, Ravi Shastri, Chandrakant Pandit, Prabhakar, Kiran More, Chetan Sharma and Maninder Singh. The umpires, Steve Woodward from New Zealand and Tony Crafter from Australia. India won the toss, put England into bat. We join in the third over. It's the fourth ball and Kapil Dev is bowling to Graham Gooch. The score 4 for no wicket. Well, that was a very good shout by Kapil Dev. Gooch had not come a long way forward, but the ball did go quite a bit. We'll have another look at that, I hope, with Jack Bannister.
There's Gooch well forward and getting his pad outside the line.
This is Prabhakar bowling to Robinson. Beautifully played. A slower ball, maybe the in-swinger, but a lovely clip off the toes by Robinson. 4 runs to him, so England move on to 8 for no wicket.
There's Neil Foster. Doubts about his fitness, but happily recovered from a knee injury.
It's Maninder Singh to Graham Gooch. Straight away, the ball turning quite appreciably, but not bouncing too high.
Well, that was a fairly ominous first ball, and the capacity crowd of 45,000 rose to it.
And Gooch this time sweeping that away for 4 runs. And that's what happens to a spinner sometimes. He gets a little bit over-ambitious, seems one turn, and looks for leg stump and a little bit farther across, and Gooch very quick onto that.
It's the third boundary of the morning. Having tried to get his line right, paid the penalty for straying.
A slower ball there, full toss, and Robinson is in that over cover for 4 runs. The first wicket for India, beautifully bowled by Maninder Singh, tempting Robinson to come down the wicket. Stumped. So that's Tim Robinson, stumped Karen Murray, bowled Maninder Singh for 13. First wicket falling at 40, and we're in the 13th over.
Yes, Robinson trying to carry on the good work that Graham Gooch had started. All credit to the bowler there, lovely bit of bowling. Stuck to his guns, drew Robinson down, knocked to the pitch of it, turns, and a smart piece of glove work. Yes, and no better player of spin bowling in this tournament than Bill Athy.
Well, again, Gooch is putting that foot down and off stump, hitting across the line, wide of mid-on, and 4 more runs. That's the 50 coming out for England in the 15th over. And it's come off 89 balls. And on this particular wicket, that's quite a good strike rate.
A That's a marvellous shot by Gooch, swept purely on length, and a brilliant stop. Chetan Sharma down at deep backward square leg. Nimble, athletic, and brave too, diving away on the boundary. 2 runs to Gooch. Chetan Sharma's the bowler. Demand again for LBW, and that was a good shout from Chetan Sharma. Athy signals for gloves. Let's talk about this one first with Roy Illingworth.
Yes, if there was no inside edge, that's got to be pretty close. And I don't think it did. Probably the umpire just giving the benefit of getting outside the off stump. And he was reasonably well forward, which is always an advantage when Athy's playing. He does get a good stride in. And the umpire probably thought, well, I've just got to guess to give that out.
Chetan Sharma. And that's out. Lovely catch. No doubt that a blow has been struck for India by Chetan Sharma. Phil Athy is the victim.
Yes, almost a repeat of the previous ball shot, but this time the ball just catching the inside edge, and a very good low catch by Kerem Murray. So that's Bill Athy now caught Kerem Murray, bowled Sharma for 4. The total on 79, and we're in the 22nd over.
And in comes Mike Gatting, the England captain. Graham Gooch has gone to meet him. Tremendous atmosphere here in this commentary box. My word, I can see a picture of ourselves commentating. Wendy Wimbush alongside me, and Jack Bannister leaping in to do the summaries. Welcome back. Shastri now to bowl to Gooch. Gatting says yes. And the pressure even put on fielders as talented as Shrikant. And the regimented applause is for England's 100 up. 2 wickets down. Robinson was out for 13 and Athy for 4. And now Gooch has 60 and Gatting has 8. Change in the attack. Chetan Sharma has been withdrawn from the attack after 6 overs, 1 for 24. And Azharuddin comes in to bowl. Oh, that's a lovely shot by Gatting. He had the width and threw the bat at it, cracked off the middle, and that beat the man at deep backward point. So 4 runs to Gatting.
The start of the 31st over.
And Gooch continuing the sweep shot, and the deep square man failing to sight the ball, going the wrong way. 4 more runs to Graham Gooch. In there this time, and it's going to be... No, he's dropped it. The opening batsman there, Shrikant. Definite chance, the ball going through his hands. So let off there for Graham Gooch.
Few times that Gooch has trusted himself to drive on the offside. One of his few false strokes with the ball spinning and just getting the outside edge. Now Graham Gooch poised, the crowd poised with him. Whenever any landmark, be it individual or team, nears, the applause starts with the bowler's run up.
And that's the 100. A well-deserved round of applause for Graham Gooch. 100 made out of 157, winning the 38th over, and that's his 5th limited overs 100, coming off just 121 balls. And a gloriously timed stroke again there, no real power, just angling the bat, running it down to third man for 4 more.
And that's just to remind people that he can play all round the wicket.
And that 100 that Graham Gooch has now made him the highest score in the World Cup. He's now scored 425 runs. And the first time the reverse sweep's been played today. Mike Gatting timing to perfection. Beautifully played, and 4 more runs down to third man.
One remembers him doing that in the 190s in Madras 2 years ago when he got the double 100. 3 of them he played. And there it goes.
And that could well be 4 more. Mike Gatting playing the sweep shot and getting it fine. Samarinda proving expensive. This is his 9th over. And Mike Gatting moving on to 59 balls with 4 boundary hits. Oh, and this time a full toss, and Gatting making room to try and get it squarish, got a thick edge and 4 more runs. This really is a bonus over for England. Well, a little bit unfortunate there, Mike Gatting. The ball well outside the off stump. Going to play the fine sweep shot again, but just getting a little bit too far across and actually sweeping it onto his leg stump. So that's Mike Gatting now, bowled by Minanda Singh for 56. The total is 196 now for 3, and we're in the 41st over.
Well, Gatting had shown his stumps before, behind the leg. Now watch the stumps appear. Behind the leg, and the bottom half of the bat, and the captain goes. But it was a fine innings, very much a supporting innings for Gooch this time. It's been absolutely brilliant, but a tremendous tempo set by these, and the stage set now for the arrival of Alan Lamb to play with Graham Gooch, hopefully.
Change of bowling at the Tartar end now. Prabhakar taking over from Kapil Dev. England on 199, Prabhakar bowls Alan Lamb. And Lamb down the wicket and lobbing the ball up just past extra cover. 2 runs taken, and England moving past the 200 mark. It's in the air, it could be a catch. Well, you can tell from the roar that Graham Gooch was caught there. Shrikant, the fielder. So that's Graham Gooch caught Shrikant, bowling under Singh for 115. And we're in the 43rd over.
Well, I suppose it had to come in the end, because the pitch is turning, and Gooch has swept and swept and swept. And that went straight up in the air, deep mid-wicket, scarcely had to move. The fielder was Shrikant, and he positioned himself perfectly and reversed the hands and just let it come. John Embry, the new batsman, played some very useful innings within the last 10 overs. dangerous dive by Lamb. You will trust Lamb to see the funny side of it. And poor Chetan Sharma. I shouldn't say that. He got a hat-trick in the last match against New Zealand, but he is labouring with some form of leg strain in this particular match. He's been off the field once. It'll be quite interesting to see Lamb come into shot. The Indian crowd are back with us now. They sense that wickets might fall in this last rush for runs. Out. John Emery played right across the line, but of course he was aiming for a space at mid-wicket, as he's entitled to do in the last few overs. But these will be crucial overs too for India to decide whether they can peg England back to something like 220 or 30 as opposed to the 250. But Emery now is LBW. Bowl Kapil Dev for 6 and England at 219 for 5.
Well, no doubt about this. John Emery put his leg onto about off the middle and then trying to pick it up over mid-wicket, and that's very, very straight.
De Freitas is the incoming batsman. Well, that couldn't be better placed as far as England's concerned. It's one of the problems that the captains face, having to keep 4 men up in the circle. Hold him. Well, a straight ball is good enough for a wild slog, and that's De Freitas' game. Either he hits or he misses. This time Kapil Dev hits. De Freitas bowl Kapil Dev for 7. We're in the 48th over, and it's 2-3-1 for 6.
And again, De Freitas playing the penalty like John Emery, hitting across the line.
Paul Downton is the new batsman. And this is Kapil Dev. Oh, beautifully placed. Oh, what a wonderful shot. Well, it's a great charm of Alan Lamb that he can produce such a fluent stroke when he knows the balls are running out. No putting the clock back here. It's the last ball, and no way England can get away from that. It's Kapil Dev to Alan Lamb. Beautifully bowled, well up. They run 1. Downton turns for 2. And makes it 254, the England score. A very fine effort indeed. 254 for 6. Really a superb performance. At least we think it is. So the England innings, quite a solid start. 40 for the first wicket between Robinson and Gooch. For India, brought on the spinners. And Meninda is the name which features there. He bowled exceptionally well, the ball turning, leaving the bat. But a sensational partnership of 117 balls by Gooch and Gatting. Gatting played well, but Gooch played exceptionally well. Superb innings, a great privilege to watch. And on we went with a little bit of a slog at the end, some fine stroke play from Alan Lamb, 32 not out. England 254 for 6. Of the bowlers, yes, the spinners did well, but no one better than Kapil Dev. 2 for 26 off his 10 overs, and England off the last 10 overs took 73 runs. So now, India need 255 to win, a run rate required of 5.1 per over. Let's join the Indian innings now then. The last ball of the first over, De Freitas is bowling to Sunil Gavaskar, and the score 2 for no wicket. Beautifully played. You daren't bowl there to Sunil Gavaskar. And so that was an expensive start by De Freitas. So, 1 over bowled, 6 for no wicket. And this well-established opening partnership, Gavaskar and Shrikant, so familiar with each other's play. They've opened right through this World Championship, World Cup competition rather. And now we're watching Gladstone Small to Shrikant. Oh, well bowled.
Well, if Small settles into his best rhythm, and this is just his sort of pitch.
That's it, bowled him. Sunil Gavaskar has gone. And tremendous jubilation, understandably, by the England team out there. And that's a shattering blow, not only to the stumps of Gavaskar, but the whole morale of the 45,000 Indians who in Bombay come to worship him as one of the great gods of cricket. Of course, so he is, but this time bowled de Freitas for 4, and in the third over, 7 for 1 wicket.
Just coming in, brushing the pad, straightening it out and whipping off stump out of the ground. And not only a shattering blow to the spectators here, but also to the Indian dressing room, because that now, well, it's put England on top.
The incoming batsman is Sidhu, who's been the surprise and the great success of this World Cup series for India, just 24 years old. Navjot Sidhu faces de Freitas. That's a very confident start indeed, and Sidhu is off the mark. Oh, dropped him. Well bowled by de Freitas, beautifully bowled in fact. And a let-off for Shrikant, it appeared to me, by Paul Downton.
A fine second over by de Freitas. This one just leaving. Shrikant, the outside edge, just not carrying through to Downton.
A very good appeal for LBW there by Gladstone Small. That nip back, leg by signalled. And it signals an escape for Sidhu.
Well, was it doing too much? Did he get outside? Certainly not that.
Six overs bowled. 18 for 1 wicket. This is de Freitas to bowl to Sidhu. That's a good shot. Well chased by Robinson. Supported by Gooch, but 3 runs to Sidhu. A very good off drive.
Small to start his 4th over of the game with India on 24 for 1.
And a chance there. Shrikant just fishing outside the off stump and edging through, and Downton, a reasonable chance there. Nice height, but the ball coming out.
Yeah, it's the second edge that's gone to Paul Downton. The first one didn't carry, but that one did. And really, for a keeper in a one-day match, it was a perfectly reasonable chance.
And again, a fine delivery by de Freitas, just leaving Shrikant and bouncing a little, which is unusual on this wicket. But Shrikant not good enough to get a touch there. Certainly India not getting off to some of the flying starts that they've had in the previous rounds of this World Cup competition. That's due mainly to some good bowling and also to a much slower wicket. But that's just where Shrikant likes them, a little bit of room. He's certainly a very fine player just behind square on the offside. He executed this absolutely perfectly. And Gladstone Small just throwing away a bit England's good start. two balls on the trot, one short and one full length, but both with a lot of width. I know Mickey Stewart's been talking to the bowlers. He wants them to bowl just short of a length, off stump. If you don't give batsmen room, then there's no way they can whack it about on this pitch. The first change bowling at the Tartar end. That's John Embry going to try his off spinners. The Freitas being rested. India then 47 for 1. Shrikant on 24. Sidhu on 13. And Shrikant there cutting Embry away to the boundary. 50 coming up then off 82 balls. Shrikant now moving on to 30. Sidhu on 17. And again they're going for the quick single. Hemmings the fielder, but good running again between the wickets. And the 50 partnership going between these two off 77 balls.
This is Foster to Shrikant. Bowled in. And now I have to say that for that moment, India did not bat well, because that was not a shot that Shrikant needed to play. He had become a great threat to England, but now he goes bowl Foster for 31 in the 16th over.
Yes, it's a bad shot this. Head going up, you can see the head go straight up there, trying to hit the ball away over a long on mid-wicket somewhere. And absolutely no need to do that at the moment. He knows that now himself. Very annoyed with himself. He played so well, giving India a great start, but now he's put England right back in the game at 58 for 2.
And Mohammed Azharuddin is the new batsman. Oh, that was a very good ball by Foster, well up. But a little bit of nick off the bat. So Azharuddin is off the mark with an edge. 59 for 2. England just requires some quiet overs, so to speak. 2 or 3 runs off the over would they settle for. Foster to Sidhu, who's 19. Well, that's a superb bit of footwork by Graham Gooch. That looked 4 all the way. And Neil Foster applauds Gooch. What a wonderful game he's having. A brilliant century. And the look on the face says everything. Neil Foster's line strays. Azharuddin milks another 4. And England beginning to look vulnerable here. Sidhu is 22 not out, facing Foster. Oh, what a brilliant catch. What a magnificent catch by Bill Athey. Well, you normally look for Athey on the onside at mid-wicket, but unmistakably Athey so low to the ground and scooping a superb catch from a positive stroke off the back foot. So India's 3rd wicket falls now for 73 in the 20th over.
You can see that a wicket out of nothing, really. Just a normal length delivery. Doing it firmly off the back foot. Athey diving away to his left and clutching it to his midriff. But that really was a bonus wicket for England.
Chandrakant Pandit has been called the reserve keeper, but in fact he is an attacking batsman in his own right and a superb fielder. But he gets his place today because Dilip Venkatakar has tummy trouble and was unable to play. That's a fine shot. That's 4 runs. Well, that was a splendid way to get off the mark. He's flipped it away from Midland leg.
Eddie Hemmings coming on for his first over of the match, bowling from our end. Well, took a chance, hooked it and middled it.
86 for 3.
the problem of the pitch. AZHARUDDIN whipping that one through mid-wicket. Actually finished his shot before the ball arrived, and lucky really to put it wide of Athi at wideish mid-on.
That's in the air. Dropped it. 4 runs. An escape there for AZHARUDDIN, and bad luck for Eddie Hemmings. Not an easy catch with Lanston's ball. Never truly got under it, but there's the applause for the 100 up in 147 balls. Four more. Good slower ball, that's straight, that's out. Very well bowled by Foster, a slower ball which had Pandit playing across it and adjudged LBW. Greatly disappointing to Pandit, but wow, relief. There's no air out there at all. It's tremendously humid at Bombay, and one always feels that the conditions favour the home side. Take a look at that, Jack Bannister.
Yeah, full length, slower ball, pitched well up, hitting him straight on the toe. Going down towards leg stump, but umpire Crafter had no doubt at all. But the danger hasn't passed. If anything, it's increased. With this man coming to the wicket, Kapil Dev, one of the most destructive and selective hitters in international one-day cricket. One of the few batsmen who can play to all 4 corners off front and back foot.
Fortune again, but to be fair, England had 2 or 3 shots like that off the inside edge, just missing the stumps. Always like this happen on this wicket, which is slow and on the low side.
Well, England might feel aggrieved at that, and particularly Neil Foster, that Mike Gatting had several of these inside edges, and it's simply because of lack of bounce and the ball coming through very slowly.
You can't do anything about that. Foster's a little bit wide, giving AZHARUDDIN room, slashing at it, but a definite edge down to 3rd man for 4.
So, deflated as it is to Indian skipper Kapil Dev.
Well, that's one of the points that I know Mickey Stewart's been making to the bowlers. You've got to get on the off stump and just outside it, and really England have strayed a lot down that leg side. Well, that could be quick here. Oh, and I don't think AZHARUDDIN was anywhere near there. Graham Gooch having a free shot at the wicket, but just missing.
No wonder Kapil's having a conference there, because AZHARUDDIN was yards out had Graham Gooch hit. Steadied himself, took aim from no more than 15 yards.
Well, again, another edge. Brilliant piece of fielding though by John Embry. Full length dive. He's gone for a big hit, but dropping short of 6. Kapil Dev dropping on his knees.
Well, he really is one of the cleanest strikers of a ball in world cricket.
That's a big hit. Gatting's under it, and he's caught it. Well, that's Kettle Dev, caught by Mike Gatting, off the bowling of Hemmings for 30. The score 168 now, with 34 overs gone, 5 wickets down.
Well, one of the great innings there, little cameo, 22 balls only, 30 runs, 3 fours. But all credit, I think, to Eddie Hemmings yet again, not spearing the ball in when he's being hit, tossing it up, tempting Capel for the big one. He'd moved Gatting round, and there's the answer, a perfectly judged catch. 10,000 people behind him saying, drop it. There's the answer.
And that could be 4. AZHARUDDIN whipping that away off his toes. 35 overs completed. And India moving on to 174 for 5. AZHARUDDIN then on 49. John Embry to bowl to him. And that's 50 for AZHARUDDIN. And that 50 was made of 60 balls with 5 boundary hits. I think Mike Gatting's got another problem out there at the moment. It looks to me as if John Embry might just have either got a bit of cramp or pulled a muscle in his right side. He's certainly been holding it. Oh, dear me, well, I thought for a minute that had bowled him as he backed away, and then he flat batted it straight back at Eddie Hemmings. But Eddie Hemmings unfortunately couldn't hold on to it, and that was the wicket that England badly wanted. Unfortunately not taken, and India moving on to 184 for 5 with AZHARUDDIN on 52, Shastri on 6, 38 overs completed. Oh, that's a fine shot. John Embry giving AZHARUDDIN a bit of room there. Stepping back and hit square on the offside for 4 runs. That's something that John Embry is likely to do. He's bowling with an injury. Not bowling quite as freely and just pulling that one down a little bit short.
The 200 comes up. Ravi Shastri is the man facing. He's 9 not out. He's been circumspect. Taken an odd trip down the pitch to see if he fancies one big hit, but not yet. Now he does. 4 runs. Nine overs to go, 51 to win. Oh, that must be out. And it is. Absolutely straight. AZHARUDDIN across the line. And Hemmings bails out England, gets the most difficult man out. He's had him dropped a couple of times. So Eddie Hemmings thoroughly deserves that wicket. The score 204 for 6.
Well, the wrong length to sweep to. Yorker length on the front foot, no doubt at all. Marvellous improvised innings from AZHARUDDIN, but sick with himself for the way he got out and at the stage of the match in which he got out. But 7 lovely boundaries, one of the great promising talents in world cricket. But you're asking for trouble to sweep at that length, just hit him on the ankle.
And the run rate now has gone up slightly, 6.37 per over. It's caught him, caught and bowled Embry. Kieran Morey to the flighted Embry delivery, lunged into it and was caught and bowled with consummate ease by Embry. And so Kieran Morey goes for naught. And the 7th wicket now falls for 205.
There it is, slighted up, going for the drive, leading edge in fact, looking to play it much wider than that. Simple stuff for Embury. Fine catch.
A cracking shot from Shastri. 4 runs. "37 runs, 31 balls. It's caught him. Well, that was a very fine bottom edge, I thought. It looked to me, we can check on that. But that was well caught by Downton. And good straight bowling by Gladstone Small.
Indeed, all but bowled him, really. Inside edge, a very faint one. Not too faint for umpire Tony Crafter. See how close this goes to the stump after he's nicked it. Good keeping by Paul Downton there, stayed with the ball all the way through.
That's Steve Woodward, the New Zealand umpire.
I think spare a thought to the umpires as well at this stage. Not just 45,000 here, but the whole of India watching.
It's in the air. Lamb scored it. Beautiful catch by Lamb at deep mid-wicket. At first I thought he hadn't seen it, and then he raced in, and now he demands a standing ovation from the deep mid-wicket crowd. Chetan Sharma caught Lamb, bowled Hemmings, 219 now for 9.
Well, fitting that the most popular tourist, really, that there's been in years for England should strike such a vital blow.
4 balls to go for Hemmings to complete. And what a lovely catch that was by Lamb.
And what a great bowling decision by Gatting to leave Hemmings on and not come back with his best bowler, seam bowler anyway, De Freitas.
Well, that's gone high. Who's calling for it? Downton. He's caught it, and England have won, and England go to Calcutta to meet Australia in the final. At the death, it was all left to Ravi Shastri. He had no confidence in Maninder Singh, and England have beaten India at Bombay by 35 runs. So a great blow to strike at the start when Gavaskar was bowled by De Freitas for 4. But there were several dashing innings full of exciting strokes by most of the Indian players, led by Azharuddin's 64. But it was perseverance with Eddie Hemmings that got the final collapse and the ultimate total of 219. That included 19 extras, but it was just not enough by India. Hemmings, by the way, took 4 for 21 in his last 34 balls. Mike Gatting used 6 bowlers. Hemmings took 4 for 52, but the most economical being Embury, 10 overs, 1 for 35, and a useful performance by Gladstone Small, 6 overs, 1 for 22. So the man of the match was pretty obvious. It was Graham Gooch for that brilliant 115, the 3rd consecutive time he's taken that award out here.
To bat first. Our commentators at Eden